It's quite a long time that I've been online. Maybe not for no reason or any reason, but I want to appreciate the presence of women in our island, the women in our own lives, and the women internationally. Women naturally are God's gifts, and women are important and so special. However, for us men, there are things that sometimes women don't know that we like or we love. So it is good for us men to inform or to communicate to most of our women what we do prefer and what we like in our own lives. Because most people, most women might think they fully know what men want. But in the real sense is that women will not know fully what men want. It is the men who knows what they want from women, and especially men who are serious. And so, how it is, or how is it, how to be a good wife? How can you be a good wife to your husband, to your loving husband? Being a good wife, isn't it about making your husband happy? It is about doing what is right for both of you. And I don't just mean because it will lead to a better marriage either. Yeah. And so we carried part one last week. This is part two, basically from a particular newspaper that I felt I must or I should share with you. Now here are more ways to be a good wife. So follow these tips. If they sound appealing, but most importantly, be your authentic self. It might not work for you, but it might work for another. So the first point is that you should respect your husband. Respect is not about bowing down to your husband. It is not about putting him on a pedestal, worshiping every word he says, or falling into line with his decisions without thinking for yourself. No, respect is about seeing him as a person who deserves your consideration and care. It's about acknowledging his individuality and the fact that he may have different thoughts, feelings, and opinions from you. The second point is playing a part in family finances. This is one of the hardest things because we do not think, and sometimes we do not, have an idea that the financial part is very important. Actually, even before dating and during your dating period, discuss about your finances. It is important because this can create problems thereafter. My friend, you should not, under any circumstances, be a financial burden to your husband. This does not mean that you should be completely dependent on him for everything and expect him to pay for everything. It means that you should help out with the household finances as much as possible by contributing your fair share in the family budget. Also, you may want things to change or get better in terms of your finances. But if you insist on being unreasonable or demanding at every turn and calling it being supportive, then there is no way this will work out well for either one of you. Money problem. So, the next point is be his friend and lover. Be a friend to your husband and at the same time a lover. If you want to make sure that your husband is happy and that he loves you for the rest of his life, this is what I would recommend. First, be his friend, be his lover, be his partner in life who shares the joys and sorrows with him as they come along. And I did sense this to one woman at our church. Her the father to her husband died, and this woman was always there with her husband, making the arrangements for the funeral. She always came with her husband to the office, and when they were going home, you could see her holding her husband's hand because she could feel how the man felt losing her father. So she shared with him in his moments of pain. And when they came to church together, especially at the funeral date, this woman knew that her husband had no strength, and he was always there beside her, together with her son. The son was tapping and rubbing the man, and the mother was also rubbing the man and holding him hands to show him comfort at that very moment. And so it is good that you know your partner, you know your husband. Be his confidant or confidant when he wants to talk about something important in his life, or when he needs advice on something that is bothering him at work, or even if it is just dealing with his family. You must always be there. Another point, respect his need for space. Your husband would like a little time for himself. If your husband is a homebody, someone who spends a little more time at home, he may like to have time alone in the evening after work or while you're out with friends. Understand that he may not want to go on every outing with you or be interested in watching every TV show or a movie. Give him the space he wants and don't take it personally if he says no sometimes. Because sometimes the woman thinks, or the wife might think, the husband will say yes to everything. It is not so. The man needs his little time alone. He needs to reflect on himself. Remember, he has a life for himself. Another point that maybe most women will not agree with it, but I am telling you, you try to figure it out on yourself. Cooking for him. Cooking is a good way to show that you care. It is a good way to show that you're a good wife. When your husband comes home after a long day of work and all he wants to do is relax, he won't want to eat, take out every night. Cooking for family members shows that you think about their needs and wants instead of just your own desires. So, cooking is very important, and especially a wife's food tastes different. It tastes better. It tastes nice. It is a moment for you to bond with your husband when you're cooking and with your children. The children, let them criticize your food. Let them say how the food tastes. Is it nice? Is it tasty? Is it better? Does it taste? Accept all of this from your husband and from your children. And so don't let your husband take you out for a fast food every day. Yeah. Then you're losing your status as a wife. Cook. If you don't know how to cook, learn. Or you can invite him to the kitchen. He could help out, maybe cutting the onions or garlic, peeling out the potatoes. Teach him, train him, peeling the sweet potatoes, the dashin, and so forth, or picking up some stuff from the beans or stew peas, rice. Teach him. It can be an entertainment as a part of that for drama. Yeah. The next point, don't complain. This is one of the major problems that the wives do not realize, that the men do not like complaints. Complaints are okay, they are necessary, but not all the time. You piss your husband off when you are always a complainant. And so do not complain. Do not complain about him spending time with his friends or family. Do not complain about him spending time with you. Don't complain about him spending time with his work. Don't complain about him spending time with himself. And I always ask my mother, sometimes when she complains about my dad, I say to her, Mommy, would you like to see my dad in the house 24/7? She said no. Because she cannot manage. She also needs a little privacy for herself. Yeah, so I said to her, Mom, you know that you're not feeling well, your body is not okay. And so it is okay when one of you can move. And so my dad is able to move, my mom cannot move. And so my mom has to balance it. She has to let him go to his friends in the buying center, at the center, in our little town in the village. He goes and spend with his fellow men there. That's okay. Because when he spent the whole day in the house, he's going to see a lot of mistakes from my mother. He's going to see my mother moving slowly, and he don't like that. And my mother cannot move fast because she has back pain, she has blood pressure, osteoporosis, and rheumatoid arthritis. And so it is that my mom is different. So my mom, sometimes I have to teach them little stuff that my dad does not have to stay in the house. He has to go and meet his friends. We do not care much what are those friends that he's going to meet, but at least he needs a space for himself, as well as my mom needs a space for herself. The next point, show interest in his job and hobbies. You don't have to be an expert on his job or hobbies. If you want to help him, just ask questions and show interest in his interests. Ask him about the projects he's working on. Sometimes it's water projects. Just ask him about it, what he thinks of a particular industry trend. He'll appreciate that you are trying to learn more about something that matters to him. And it shows that your relationship is not only built in sharing ideas and experiences together as equals, but not just being good friends who happen to share a living space. Because some people are only happy because they are sharing a space, but also share your ideas and so forth with your husband. Be a good wife. That is another point. Be a good wife because that is the right thing to be. Be good, be nice, be hopeful. You should be a good wife because that is the right thing to do, not because you get something out of it or because you want him to be a good husband in return. When you think about it, being a good wife is simply playing against other wives or trying to win some sort of prize at home. Being a good wife has nothing to do with your husband's behavior and everything to do with how you conduct yourself as his spouse and partner for life. You don't need him as much as he needs you. So why would he deserve anything from you? Being good, you don't become good because someone else is doing you something good. Doing good should be part of your character. And even myself, I have to try to be good, not because people are good to me, but it is good for me. It is healthy for me when I'm good, because when I'm good, it actually contributes to my own health. When you're happy, you make yourself happy. Yeah, you don't necessarily make others happy, but first and foremost is for you to be healthy and to be happy. So it is with those few remarks. Uh, it is good that women be good women, and I think that is important. Yeah. And the next topic will also be on women's maybe towards themselves and how they carry out themselves. Without women, this world would be incomplete. But also without women knowing that they are women, this world would be in a mess. So everybody have to take their responsibility and take it well. Yeah, do what is good. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully this does not have a copyright because I would have to end up pulling out the whole video.
You look past my youth, my pain, my shame, in poured your love. You look beyond me, oh. You look beyond me, oh. You look past my youth, my pain, my shame, and poured your love, oh. You look beyond me, oh. Daddy, you look beyond me, oh. I'm the one that you have shown mercy. You have shown mercy. You have shown mercy. I'm the one that you have shown mercy. You have shown mercy. You have shown mercy. Jesus, you good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. I will praise your holy name, oh. I will call you Yahweh. Jesus, you good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. I will praise your holy name, oh. I will call you Yahweh. Jesus, you good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. I will praise your holy name, oh. I will call you Yahweh. And Jesus, you good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. I will praise your holy name, oh. I will call you Yahweh, who is good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. I will praise your holy name, oh. I will call you Yahweh. Jesus, you good, oh. Jesus, you good, oh. I will praise your holy name, oh. I will call you Yahweh. In my life, you are good. In my business, you are good. In my family, you are good. Oh, you are good. Sing in my life, you are good. Sing in my business, you are good. Everything I do, in everything I do, you are now who is good. Oh, Jesus, you good. Oh, and Jesus, you good. Oh, and I will praise your holy name. Oh, I will call you Yahweh. Jesus, you good. Oh, Jesus, you good. Oh,